There's a new group called DREAMCAR that features most of the members of No Doubt and Davey, Havok of AFI. They released their debut album. It's a self-titled last week. It's already getting critical acclaim, and they stopped by for one of their first shows, well, ever, in Philadelphia on Monday, May 22nd at the TLA. Adrian Young is one of those people that was in No Doubt and is now in DREAMCAR. He's the drummer for both, and he joins us now. Hey, Adrian.
Hi, Michael.
Congratulations on the 1-week anniversary of the album being out.
Thank you very much. It feels really nice to put this record out. We're super proud of it. And, we just started playing live for the first time as DREAMCAR, geez, just about a week and a half ago.
Right. Well, I'm sure it's like still also new and kind of strange and different being out there because it's something completely different when it's on the stage.
It is different and new, but it does not feel strange at all. I mean, from the moment we started, writing together and actually playing the songs together, it felt like a glove. It was very natural and felt very purposeful.
We're on the phone with Adrian Young right now. Can you tell me the origin story of how this all came together, like how you guys found each other and decided that this is what you wanted to do?
Well, Tony Kanal, Tom Dumont, and myself are constantly making music together.
Okay.
And we wanted to do an experiment and see if we could do another project, another band. And we invited Davey, Havok out to a dinner date to see if he would be interested in maybe experimenting and collaborating and trying something. And he said yes, and we sent him 4 songs and of just music, and then 2 days later he sent back completed versions of lyrics and melodies to all 4 of the songs, and they were really good. And we kind of went, whoa, we got something here. And so we just kept writing and kept the experiment going. And then after a good amount of time, we started to realize, wow, this is a real thing, and this could be a band. And so then we got a record deal and did the things that bands do, and here we are playing shows.
That's awesome. So it was born out of you guys were already kind of jamming and getting together, which I think is interesting in its own right. I don't know if everyone expected that No Doubt's just kind of hanging out, playing themselves, and then they decide to. What was the decision to stop being dormant with it and kind of take it off into a new level? I mean, if you guys were just playing by yourselves, doing your own thing, what made you say, "Hey, let's push this mainstream. Let's try to get something new together"?
Well, No Doubt has not put out a lot of music in the last 10 to 15 years.
Sure.
And and this is what we do best. We make music, and so we want to keep doing it. There are times when I play in other records, for example, but I've never actually officially joined a new group, since I've been in No Doubt in the late 80s. So it's a big undertaking to say, okay, we're going to be in a band and we're going to start this thing from the ground up.
Right.
But with Davey Havok, things got really interesting and creative and fun, and so we all agreed, let's be a real band and let's go do this. And so, we're, I guess to answer your question, we're not good at sitting on the sidelines,
right?
And we're going to keep making music.
I love the idea that you guys have been all playing together, kind of off the grid a little bit while all this was happening, and now are back as DREAMCAR. I think it's really exciting, actually.
No, thank you for saying that. It feels good to be doing it. It
feels good to do it on an awesome record, too. I should say that it sounds so good, and I think that's another kind of pleasant surprise from everybody is when we first heard about you guys connecting and doing things from some of our favorite bands with AFI and No Doubt. There was confusion about what it was going to be, and then we hear the thing about, well, it's kind of 80s inspired, and then you start to hear these songs trickle out, and it's like, oh, wow, it's really good. And then the album comes out, and you go, oh, wow, it is really good, which is something completely different, I think, that caught people off guard a little bit.
Well, I'm glad you feel the same way I do about it, although I'm not very objective. But I will say that this album wasn't forced. It was very pure in the sense where we were just jamming with it for a long time with no record company and no management, and we were just people making songs. And so it came from a pretty organic, unforced place with no outside influences. And so I think that that's probably the best place to make music from, without outside pressures. And hopefully it came through on the record. It feels like it did to me, but we never know. We could have put this thing out, and I could have been talking to you, and you might have thought it sucked. It could go a million different ways. But I'm so pleased to hear that you like it.
No, and I'm so glad for you that it worked out. You guys are going to be here in Philadelphia on Monday, May 22nd at the TLA. That's down there on South Street. The total vibe of it, and it's been, people keep linking it back to the 80s. I think I hear a little Duran Duran, like a more dangerous Duran Duran in it a little bit. Was that conscious? Were you guys decide to go in a certain direction, or is this just kind of what came out with you guys?
No, it was unconscious. I mean, we never had a discussion of, hey, let's be this kind of band or let's be a specific style. But like I said earlier, we were kind of letting things happen naturally. And I think because that's the era that we all grew up in, and, our hearts are kind of tied to, the British New Romantic time, we just kind of naturally went there. But there was never any kind of discussion of, hey, let's go be a certain style band.
Right. I think that's why it comes out more natural, too, is because, I mean, the past 5 years, people have been tapping that decade a lot, and sometimes it sounds really unnatural, and it doesn't ever sound like that with DREAMCAR. Like, it seems very authentic, and I think that's why people have been gravitating towards it over the past week and plus.
Well, thank you for saying that. Yeah. It feels right. It fits. It doesn't feel nostalgic to me. It just feels like this is what we are.
We're on the phone with Adrian Young right now. DREAMCAR is going to be at the TLA on Monday, May 22nd here in Philadelphia. So if you guys are together for the past couple of years and playing, is it safe to say that there would have been more No Doubt in the past couple of years if everybody was on board, if the three of you guys were on board? Is there... I'm trying to think of the delicate way to say it, but you know what I'm saying. Is if you guys were all together doing
you're
something...
asking if there was no DREAMCAR, would there be more No Doubt music?
I'm saying, is there something that prevented, or someone that prevented more No Doubt music from coming out if most of you guys were all together, performing together already?
Oh, well, I don't think it would take a scientist to figure that one out.
Sure.
Gwen has a very successful career on The Voice, and she's been doing solo music, and so... Like I said, we're not very good at being on the sidelines, so we're just making music because that's what we do best.
Right. Is everything okay there? Because the last comments that I saw about that was her and Rolling Stone last year, where she's talked about the last record that you guys all did together kind of being a drain and kind of being burned out and almost feeling like she had to do it. And I don't know what the relationship is there now.
Well, I don't want to speak for her feelings on the last record, but I will say that she's been, really cool about doing social media posts about DREAMCAR.
Oh, cool.
So it's very positive, yeah.
Very cool. So she's kind of helping push it out there and promote it, too.
I guess in this day and age, that is helping promote it, isn't it? Yeah.
Right. I mean, well, look, people pay a lot of money for tweets these days, believe it or not. So it's, I mean, definitely that's, I don't know if that's a seal of approval, but that's definitely, there's worse ways that she could have handled the whole situation.
Absolutely.
So then I take it you guys don't talk a ton if we're talking about how she interacts on social media.
I'm talking to you right now.
Right. Okay. Fair enough. Look, I had to ask because it's a band and a music that played a huge, important part in my life and a lot of people's lives, and that's a testament to you and all of you guys. And I think it's a testament to what DREAMCAR is now, is because there's definitely a building block there.
Well, I will help sum up the No Doubt curiosity. I think that at some point we'll play again, and because there will always be a No Doubt. And I wouldn't be surprised if we start playing live shows at some point in the future.
Right. Does it feel good to be back just on the road with the guys now over the past couple of dates? Now that you've been doing a week and a half, and back to, does it feel like you're swimming in old skin again?
It does. And some of these venues we're playing are venues that we played, over 20 years ago. It's good to play small clubs. It feels really, really different and fun. And I think for most people, especially when you relate it to music, anything that takes you back to a place of your youth, it has that special feeling you can't get with other things.
Totally. Absolutely. And I think that's why everybody right now is doing these, 15 and 20-year anniversaries of things, and they're huge because people love, the golden age of music for everybody is when they're like, 18 to 25, right? It's that stuff that kind of shaped you and made you who you were for the rest of your life.
I would even say 13 to 25, but yes.
Yeah, that's
absolutely.
probably true too. But yeah, that music was so important to us back then, and there was so much less going on, so we had more time and more emotion to devote to things like that.
Yeah, it's a crazy world to put music out these days. There's a lot going on, like you said, and I kind of missed the social media curve until I was forced to do it. But I want to say something about the way things used to be, because we just did an in-store at a record store in Long Beach, California, the day the DREAMCAR record came out, and people were buying vinyl and CDs that day, and it was really fun to step back into that feeling again, rather than people downloading it on their phones from, the bus stop or on their lunch break. It was like, okay, here we are. We're here physically together. You're buying a physical thing. It's part of the experience, and it was nice to see.
It is cool to see, and it's cool to be a part of moments like that, because it is so much tougher now. It used to be that you would buy an album and you had to listen to it a lot because you spent so much money on it that you had to buy it and listen to it a lot and decide if you even liked it or not. And now, like, people just click through one song and go, nope, next thing. And I think that's even more a testament to what you're doing right now and that you've been able to break through, because it's so much different now. The landscape's way different.
Yeah, there's something beautiful about being fully invested in a record, and spending time with it. I will say I'm glad I wasn't, musically speaking, I'm glad I wasn't born 20 years later. Right. That's for sure.
Well, that concludes this segment of two old guys shaking their fist at clouds of music. Back in my day. Yeah.
We're not too old to bring the energy to the stage, and you'll see that on Monday at TLA. This show has got lots of energy, and we're having a good time with it.
Excited to see you. It's excited to see you tear the roof off the place.
Yeah, that's the plan.
Thank you so much for the time. I really appreciate it, and looking forward to seeing you out there on Monday.
Oh, thank you for speaking with me.
Yeah. See ya. We'll talk to you soon.